Okay, we're good. Welcome to the Monkey Bar, episode 83. Let's go. Things happened. PS5 announcements.
Oh my god, so apparently I didn't even realize it was announced.
They've been delaying it so often every other day that when it finally did come out, I'm not surprised that some people missed it.
The first thing I have to say is holy fucking shit, Deathloop is my jam.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. It looks like Dishonored, except you're actually encouraged to kill people, which I like a lot.
Yeah, and I also like semi-roguelikes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Well, not really roguelike.
It does fall into that category because it resets every time.
Yeah, I also really like everything about the aesthetic, the grindhouse feel. The only way it could be better if Samuel Jackson was one of the characters. Like he's the final target.
Oh, that'd be neat.
He's the guy in the dog mask, motherfucker.
You see that thing I sent you on Discord, the manga?
Yes. I'm just gonna, the dog man. But
Dog.
I can't.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably say it because, it's the not hard.
I'm just gonna say where my mom lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, and also I want to wait until after our 100th episode to risk getting banned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a werewolf thing or something.
I don't want to sound like a furry, but I really like that design for a dog.
It reminds me of a super eye patch wolf, the design.
Something about the color is really appealing, like the sort of blurry red.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Deathloop looks pretty fun.
I also kind of am curious about Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, that looks. I mean, I still haven't played Resident Evil 7 yet. I have it in my library, but I just haven't played it yet. So I haven't really been formally introduced to Ethan as a character. So
he still plays Ethan, yeah.
Yeah.
He says Ethan. I do want to say, of all the things with that, I saw a leak months ago, and I'm like, no way, this can't be real. They hit the nail on the head. God.
There's a werewolf in that too.
That is. Oh, I'm gonna wager it's not a werewolf. It rewrites your DNA.
Yeah. I'm just
picturing functionally a werewolf.
Yeah, I'm just if it doesn't end up being genetically modified stuff, then I'm just imagining the fan art, the future of Claire and Jill, cat girl forms, that kind of stuff.
I'm just picturing Chris is on the plane with Wesker and 5, and he goes, global saturation. And Chris goes, what's in the virus? It says, cat girl gene.
Will it make Leon want to fuck my sister?
Oh my god. That's have you ever realized? I'm sorry, I just want to say something about Chris Redfield makes him look kind of. He looks kind of like he needs a drink.
Yeah, he looks huge in this version.
Have you seen what he looks like in Resident Evil 5?
Yeah, well, he's got the biceps that are bigger than his head. Yeah,
that's how he would look as a human. He's terrifying.
Yeah, I like the idea of the older he gets, the bigger he gets.
Oh my god, he's who Tyrant's a clone of.
Yeah.
And you know what breaks my ass is his official height. He's 5'11".
Wow. It's just an inch taller than me. That's crazy.
God. Actually, I'm curious. How tall is Mr. X?
I don't know.
I'm just curious here because the old game, apparently he was more realistic height-wise. You know what they do, right?
Uh-huh.
They don't have an official height. Fuck. But yeah, Village. Apparently you're in the land of Slavic country.
Mm-hmm. I like the part in the trailer when Ethan opens the closet and that guy just shoots him point blank and misses.
That's fucking me.
He got a gun from Counter-Strike.
Dude, I like to imagine just like Ethan looks like he has no head. He's just shoulders.
Huh.
Uh,
Like, do they have like art, like promotional art showing like what Ethan looks like, or is it just you know?
yes, there is.
Oh,
Yes. He looks like a white dude.
yeah. I was thinking like I'm just picturing in my head like generic AAA game white guy with like short brown hair.
Actually, he's blondish.
Oh, that's new.
Blondish brown.
Oh, okay.
Honest, he looks like he should be a spokesman for Turning Point USA.
He looks kind of like Robert Pattinson if he's blonde.
Oh no, I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
Uh, Pragmata exists.
Yeah. Which one is that? Oh, is that the one with the that goes to Times Square and little ghost girl, that stuff?
Yeah, no, Robot Girl is what I took it
Robot,
as.
hologram, robot, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
I saw like I was watching it on the Gigaboots podcast. They kept thinking it was like a Death Stranding sequel spinoff.
I was waiting for Hideo Kojima to just like pull the screen open like Ralph and Ed, Edd n Eddy.
I mean, yeah, the trailer looks pretty. No idea what the game's about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hoping it's not like them trying to do their own Death Stranding, and I don't know. It's a video game apparently. So
Plot twist: it is a really obtuse hint to Dino Crisis.
yeah, a lot of the trailers I saw, they just don't really look that interesting, I guess.
I like Horizon.
I mean, yeah, I was never really that into Horizon.
Alloy's an okay character. I had to warm up to her, but I don't play it because of her or the story. I play it because of fucking robot dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
There
I
are
mean,
some what?
Yeah, sure. The dinosaurs look great in that.
Yeah, it's the whole appeal of the game is basically, do you see that big robot? You can climb it.
Yeah.
But even then, we didn't get much to chew on there.
Yeah. There's the new Oddworld game is finally coming out.
The fuck had I missed that?
Yeah, Soulstorm. Like, I don't know. I've never really been all that interested in Oddworld games, gameplay wise. The only one I've been interested in is Stranger's Wrath. It's because it's like it looks fun to play, and the Oddworld games, the 2D ones, just look I don't know, not that interesting to play, not that fun or whatever. Soulstorm is like a direct sequel to the Abe series, whatever. I've always been more interested in the story than the gameplay, but the gameplay keeps me from, going too much into the story. I wish that there was like a series of books that like chronicle the whole thing rather than games, so I don't have to.
Can I share the one thing I know about Stranger's Wrath that always stuck out to me? Stranger's Wrath revealed one bit of backstory about the stranger is that he comes from a centaur-like race, but he cut off his hind legs.
Right.
That's kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little devil inside.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it looks like charming and gothic. I wonder what it's like a 3D action game, right?
Want to hear my prediction on plot? My plot is that you will play as a old man reliving his younger days in memory.
Oh, that seems a pretty likely.
Basic, yeah. Plot twist: you're actually hunting that old fucker down to kill him.
That's another likely scenario.
Oh, God.
Speaking of 3D action games that look like Dark Souls, Demon Souls remake.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a modern take on Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm. And
from
what I've heard, the original Demon Souls was like half finished when they like released it. So I guess it's a good opportunity for them to fix that.
God, I can't wait till. I'm sort of sad there wasn't anything for Elden Ring,
Hmm.
but I am glad that there's gonna be a whole lot of new people that'll be complaining about its difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like
It's
the
still
other
hard.
yeah. And on the other end, you got people saying, oh, like we can't like water down anything for we gotta make it more complicated. Otherwise, games journalists will play it or whatever.
I believe in the horseshoe theory,
Mm-hmm.
that as the farther you go along one side of an argument, you just become the other side but an asshole.
Right.
I butchered that.
Oh yeah, like the one that like probably the most people have been talking about is the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was
because,
into Ratchet and Clank as a kid.
yeah, I wasn't into it as much as Jack and Daxter or Sly Cooper, so I wasn't as excited about this as everybody else was. But the one key thing that the one key part of the trailer was the use of portals, and that showcases the loading times of the SSD or the performance of the PS5 the most, from what I've heard, because there's a part where you're flying through portals, and it's basically loading completely new maps from what I've heard, and while you're falling through these portals, and it's basically the next big thing, because for a while you had the squeeze throughs where it's like, you know what I'm talking about, where you like
yeah,
squeeze.
like you go through a tunnel that's really tight and compressed, and then you come out into a whole new area.
Yeah, and the next area is loading while you're doing that. With Ratchet and Clank, it basically eliminates that completely, to where you basically just falling through this basically a loading screen for like a second and a half, and then you fall right into a set piece that like everything's already loaded by the time you're done with that, which is pretty amazing. Or at least people have said that's pretty amazing, and I take their word for it. And it's a good showcase of like the big step forward with at least consoles, because PCs are already like leagues ahead right now. But with consoles, it's like that's the big like the biggest like consumer markets. I think that's like what a lot of like these PC master race people are like losing, is that yeah, PCs are like have better performance than consoles, but more significantly more people use consoles, and once the consoles actually get on the level of PCs, that's where the big leaps come in with the games. I mean, because games are made primarily for consoles, but once consoles catch up to PCs, then we start seeing better games, and then like the cycle continues.
It's an arms race.
Yeah.
By the way, I finally decided what I would like to see on the PS5, knowing what it can kind of do now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like a new Metal Gear Rising style game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like have even smaller chunks that you can cut people into.
Yeah, and you could have big crowds of enemies.
Yeah.
The bastard child of Paint the Town Red Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah. Can you imagine like a Dynasty Warriors game with like that, where it's like each enemy has their own AI, or like it's not like just crowds, but like they all have their own patterns.
I'm having a heart attack, man. That's going to be the big one there. I'm a huge addict of Dynasty Warriors.
See, I can never get into Dynasty Warriors just because of what exactly I was just talking about. It just feels like you're mowing through crowds rather than like individual enemies. It feels more like the crowds are like one singular enemy with their own like singular AI. I might be completely wrong on that, but that's just what's felt like. I remember I got
the gist of it.
I remember I got Hyrule Warriors and I couldn't get into it.
My favorite ones are the Empire games, where you have a little bit of empire building at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's something. It's it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was most excited for in that PS5 announcement was the controller, and how it has motion controls in it, which is I mean the PS4 has motion controls in it, right?
Yeah.
But
you have a blue light thing. It's used in Until Dawn.
Yeah, but I want to. It looks like they're going to have it be more like the or the Switch controller, to where, like, I want to see more games do that. Where like with it's, I think it's going to be the big thing that bridges the gap between PC and consoles with first person shooters, especially because I know that I've heard that some people actually say that the Doom and Doom Eternal play better on console than they do on PC with the aiming and the motion control assist of aiming, which is mind-boggling for someone who's preferred mouse and keyboard for first-person shooters for all my life. And Breath of the Wild, it has the motion controls for the arrows, and that is a huge help with aiming and that. So I want to see more games make that the standard of having motion assist for aiming. I think that's going to be the because I know that consoles have struggled to like match PCs with aiming controls for first-person shooters, especially. I know the Wii seemed like the big step with like motion control aiming, and that just didn't really go anywhere. But it looks like the aiming assisting motion control with controllers are going to be like the linchpin, I guess. I'm hoping that's the case.
I think the best use of motion control I can think of in a console game is Until Dawn again. It's used where you have to hold it dead still. And in the kind of sequel, the Dark Pictures, all you have to do is just click a button. It's a rhythm thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you have it hold it still, wouldn't you just like put it down on a table or something?
No, it has to be held up.
Right. Well, could you lean it? Like, could you lean it on like a book or something? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it changes. I think the sensor moves a little bit.
Okay.
So it's like that's what it does.
Yeah. As a gamer, I just like immediately just want to fuck with the rules.
Oh yeah. I like Until Dawn, and I'll fight for that game, and I'll fight for the Dark Pictures. I like them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am by the way, I completely forgot about Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, which apparently is a standalone game, according to Insomniac. It's funny seeing that on their Twitter when they said, it is a standalone game, and somebody replied, "What's the source on that?" It's like they were asking the developer of the game that. So.
Oh, there's a Hitman 3 that I missed.
Oh yeah, Hitman 3.
I didn't see that yet.
Apparently, if you own Hitman 1 and 2, then you get that free. You get Hitman 3 free. And if you buy Hitman 3, then you get the first 2 games for free, or at least for a discount, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, by the way, I'm on Fandom looking at their thing. Fandom has a listing of the best Jurassic Park dinosaurs ranked.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to mention, guess who's dead last?
Yeah.
The compies. And their answer is because they have to hunt in packs. Number 2 is Velociraptor. Why are they scary? Because they hunt in packs.
Huh.
I hate those fucking articles. I'm sorry, I have to vent about this real quick. There was an article on Godzilla. 10 powers you didn't know Godzilla has. One of them is radiation and another is breathing underwater. You're acting like no one knows Godzilla doesn't breathe fire.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of dinosaurs, the most exciting announcement in the PS5 video. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Goodbye Volcano High.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, do you know about that?
No.
It's probably the most infamous trailer from that showcase. It's about Tumblr dinosaur anthropomorphics in high school having drama, and it looks like I don't know. People are saying it might be a visual novel, which is why they didn't show any gameplay. But yeah, it's like whatever.
Nothing's wrong with that.
What
the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with that one? She's got bird wings and arms. No, don't do that. Don't do that, honey. Give them wings and arms. Be correct.
Yeah. Apparently, the writer of this got quote unquote canceled on Twitter because she wrote for Kotaku, and they had an article about like Harry Potter porn and showed like actual safer work porn of the underage characters.
Oh, fuck. Burn her with a stick, please.
Yeah.
Or not burn her, do that. Burn her, like, get her off there, get her out. No, you don't do that.
Yeah, or at least don't take her seriously after that. Which I think that people just like when I personally am kind of conflicted because it's like fuck cancel culture. I fucking hate this all these hashtags of this person is over party. That
Can I
shit.
tell you something? I've been doing it. There are some people who I think should be taken off the air, but there are people who are like, fucking kill this person.
No,
Like,
no, like I gotta disagree with you on that. Nobody should be taken off the air. They
I
like
have a question.
I think I think that people should be ignored. Like, but that's the responsibility of the person paying attention to that person. Because, like, when you say, this person should be taken off the air, then you're like taking the authority away from the audience. And the thing is, like, I think that
I
people
think
are
the audience should have a hand in saying it, but at the same time, I was thinking about this
like you don't fight hate with hate. You fight it with apathy.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you as well on this. I was thinking about this. I I weird thing of all the Trumps, I fucking hate Ivanka the most. And you know what she did? And she's jumping on the cancel culture train. I hate it. You wanna know why?
Mm-hmm.
She jumped on that because no one wanted her to show up at her little speech. They're having her. I'm sorry, I'm ranting about this.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle is in a tizzy because they passed some bill. I don't even know what they passed. He's in a tizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about PS5.
Yeah.
A thoroughly more depressing topic.
Well, here's some good news. Well, actually, it doesn't have to do with the PS5. It has to do with the PC. Persona 4 just came to PC on Steam.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I
know you love I know you love the Persona series, so
I like Persona. I like Persona. I still think Persona 5 is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice wrapped up bow.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, I've never played Persona 4, so I think I would like to play it sometime. I know that other than Persona 5, Persona 3 is another big one that people talk about.
I recommend 4, but
Yeah.
you need to go in blind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if 5 needs blind, 4 needs it more.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize about that.
Mm-hmm. All right. The last video game I wanted to talk about, and this is the biggest one that I wrote down, was it's obviously the biggest game announced at the PS5 announcements because it was the first one in the showcase.
The Last of Us.
No, they actually didn't show that in the presentation. I'm not sure why. Maybe like speculation, whatever. But the first one that they showed was GTA Online, the greatest game ever made.
Fucking cut my throat. I'm getting sick of GTA 5.
Yeah, GTA Online actually, because they're like I really despise how they never released any single player DLC for GTA 5. According to
all the fun you could do with all the stories of Trevor.
Oh yeah, I would have loved a like GTA 4 style DLC pack with like 3 different episodes, each one focusing on one of the 3 main characters. That would have been great. I would trade GTA Online for that in a heartbeat. But no, and apparently Rockstar treats GTA Online like it's its own separate game. And I think that they actually said back when it was released, saying that they're going to maintain GTA Online for the next 10 years. So I hate the idea that we're going to have to wait until 2023 for any news on GTA 6. That just makes my skin crawl.
God.
Yeah, it does make me worried for the future of GTA. I feel like Rockstar is going to end up making it this games as a service model. Like we're not going to see a GTA 6. That's just going to be GTA Online 2 next generation kind of thing. But if that is the case, then I would like to believe that it'll be a like best case scenario is that it ends up being a sort of online single player hybrid where I don't know, maybe like Dark Souls, where because every game has to be like Dark Souls in the future. But what I mean is, you play the single player mode and you have the option to allow other players to come in and either help you with a mission or fuck up your shit in single player. You can
make them freelancers. They could be like you could hire them onto your mission or like a gang.
And like if you like complete a mission successfully, they get a cut of your payment.
But if they can kill you and beat it, they get the whole deal.
Yeah, you have it be like I was like Nikki Jakey's his model for his ideal GTA game, where it's like the missions are mostly non-linear. You get to approach each mission with like any way you want, whether it's like like the idea of a guy being on top of a building. You can either go up the elevator, fight wave after wave of bad guys. You can go to you can go to the airport, hijack a helicopter, parachute off, or like machine gun the guy from a parachute, or just blast it with rockets from like a fighter jet. Like, and I could see that being really cool. It would be neat also if Rockstar followed the, and I know this kind of conflicts with my opinions on large bloated maps, but having like a whole map of the U.S. like in The Crew 2, I like the idea of that, where it's like this huge map that you can just like spend an hour driving across country, and if like a GTA Online like that would be really interesting. But it would require like an insane level of detail to keep it from just being a really stale and empty map. Which, yeah, with next gen graphics, next gen performance, I could see it being easier to fit all that into a map. It also makes me wonder if Rockstar is planning on having a new game engine, because I know that they've stuck with the Rage engine, the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, since GTA 4. Actually, since Rockstar Presents Table Tennis, if we're going back to.
Oh God!
Because that was they made that game specifically to showcase their engine. I can't believe
I forgot that exists.
Yeah, like that. Like the only reason I remember it exists is because that was the first game with the Rockstar new engine, and it would be interesting to see them like either make a new engine. I don't see them making a new engine from scratch. If they're going to use a new engine, I could see them using Unreal 5, because that seems like the most advanced thing right now. I don't know if you've gotten around to watching that Unreal 5 trailer.
I still haven't. I'll probably do it after this.
Yeah, it's not that interesting if you don't really care about how the graphics are made, how the sausage is made, kind of stuff. But I'd say even then, it's pretty interesting. Like if you know a little bit about the history of 3D graphics, or if you're interested in how like graphics are done, or whatever. If you know what a voxel is, then you'll be interested in it.
I do like voxels.
Huh.
Actually, voxel graphics are probably one of my favorite styles when done right.
Yeah, but I'm caustic about the future of GTA and about Rockstar in general. It seems like they are leaning more towards the games as a service model, which really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But if they manage to do it right, then I'm like I'll hold out hope that they manage to have their I guess come to Jesus moment and be like, let's go back to our roots. Let's actually have fun making these games. Let's make it fun for the player to play. Let's not make them pay us money to buy in-game money to buy a jet bike to fuck around in, when you could just find it in like a hidden part of the map in the single player mode. Yeah, it's kind of depressing. It shows like the caustic nature of AAA game studios right now, and I don't think it's too late for any studio to really just, bounce back and
I
re-earn.
don't have that much faith in some studios.
Yeah,
I honestly think that with some companies, they have devoted themselves so much to making money and just fucking, meat grinding through employees.
yeah. Once they start bleeding money, that's when they usually get more competitive
Yeah.
or die, whichever works.
I apologize about getting a little heated back there.
No, it's fine. I actually want to have a little mid-year resolution and try to be more. I guess because in the past I've been like, I don't want to talk about politics, but now I think nowadays especially it's a good time to take a stand for what you believe.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Mhm.
I still probably don't want to I think that I've been trying to really try and focus on what do I believe in politically,
Mhm. And people seem to just. I think a lot of people disagree. Like they don't get that you can disagree with someone's politics and still be friends with them, or still agree with them on some other issues.
Yeah, like I've been starting to think that I'm more and more liberal than I thought I was.
Mhm.
I think what sparked this was a 2.5 hour fight with my uncle over defunding the police.
Hmm.
I think they should, not do it willy nilly, but you understand what I mean about, right? I mean,
I am kind of on your side about that too. I think that there are some, things that I mean, I don't know that much about police budgeting or like how much money gets spent on them.
Well, Ohio doesn't have a very good track record with police. We can just put it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, because I don't really have all of my notes in front of me about here's the financial records of fiscal blah 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 here and there. I'm not that into because I don't really think about politics that much on a day-to-day basis. So
I start my diet when I wake up. I'll read political news. I read political news while I'm waking. Well, what I mean, right?
Yeah, same with me.
Wake up, get dressed.
Yeah.
Usually around that time, I consider if I tie a rope, if I can put a rope around my neck and my feet will leave the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. What else do I have on my list? And we'll probably get back to that subject later. Actually, no. I want to talk about this thing that just happened to me today. It was what I was telling you before we got started. That thing that happened to me in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
It was just like I think that was that was only like 2 hours ago actually, so it's still fresh in my head. But I was walking back to my car, picked up groceries, and I was walking back to my car. This couple was just like yelling at each other. The guy was like saying, oh, you stole this from me, blah blah blah. Every time I took away, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I'm standing by my car, and I just decided to like stop and stare at them. And I know that I'm like trying to like provoke a reaction out of this guy. So like, and like, of course I did. He just looks at me and is like, hey, is there a problem? And I'm like, no. And it's funny because like, I think that he knew that's what was going through my head. So he's like preemptively trying to like, jump on that subject before I did.
I have a rule of thumb about if I ever have to get into a fight, the one thing I'll be watching for.
Mm-hmm.
Check for tattoos and check to see if they look like prison tats.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I said just no instead of, oh, that's what I was going to ask you, sir. But so I was trying, like, it was like that's always going through my head where it's like, do I really want to escalate this situation? In this case, I wanted to get a reaction, but I didn't really want to escalate it. And if it escalates by itself, then I'll get myself ready for a fight. I know I'm kind of sounding like a tough guy here, but it's like goes back to what I was saying about taking a stand. I think it's in that situation. And actually, like after that guy left, and the lady, there was like these two ladies standing like across from me. They were like, well, if he didn't want him to stare, then he shouldn't You shouldn't be like loud and obnoxious like that.
People who scream in public subconsciously want attention.
Yeah.
They want to be the big dog on campus.
That's kind of what I was like. It's like if you want attention, I'm giving you attention, sir. I'm just imagining like if somebody was filming that on their camera, and because I was wearing sunglasses, they'd be like, "Oh, can you believe this guy just staring at this innocent black couple? He must be a cop," Just picturing myself.
I'm gonna say that. No, right now
I see that stuff. I see that stuff all the time.
No, what it gets me is there are undercover cops in riots. They've proven that.
Yeah.
If they're agent provocateurs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you say it. No, it's just, oh God, I'm sorry. I don't want to get.
I hear this is more as Antifa escalating stuff.
Oh, Antifa. I'm sorry. Can I just say something?
Eh.
I apologize. My uncle is I could fucking strangle him over his Antifa talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know that old man who got pushed down by cops and was literally bleeding out of his head? Remember that?
Yeah.
He's Antifa. God. You know that my God, they're acting like fucking Antifas in every riot. From what I understand, they're a fucking group that's on the way out the door. They're getting stirred up by people like Shapiro and those fucknuts. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's funny because it wasn't until now that people have been getting on their case. Because I remember 5 years ago they were declared like a terrorist organization and people weren't doing anything.
By Trump.
Yeah,
it's literally because they talk shit about him.
Mm-hmm.
God, yeah.
So now when it benefits the media, they're like, "Oh, these people are terrorists. They should be stopped."
And by the way, if you ever want to chuckle, watch OAN News. I thought Fox was bad. I don't like Fox. I've always hated Fox, right?
I'm not that keen on Fox, but I like Tucker.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I apologize. Why do you like Tucker? Can I actually?
I don't know. He's just this kind of. If I had to,
he's an asshole. I apologize.
He's an asshole, and I like it because he speaks his mind, and I think that
when they
where most of the media is left leaning, he speaks his mind. And it's not even that right leaning. He's more just comes from a place of why isn't anybody talking about this specific thing? Why is the media silent about this stuff that is more prevalent than the stuff that they're trying to draw attention to?
I just want to say, I don't like to be the person, when they say, 10 years ago, he said this or that. That shit pisses me off, right?
Yeah.
He called Iraqis primitive monkeys. When you call someone bad, just fuck you. I have a couple Iraqi friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You know that restaurant we went to? I think it was after the convention? The Kitchen.
Okay.
Owner's from Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, wow, this guy's a fucking asshole. Its radio shows seem to get the best reaction out of it. I apologize. I'm sounding like fucking liberal McNutnet. Believe it or not, I am not liberal. I'm not that liberal. It's just that I fucking just... I don't like news media that lie, and Fox has been known to be they kind of lie. OAN, though.
I mean, if you're talking about most,
I don't watch CNN because I know
CNN lies all the time. CNN lies a lot. Most news channels lie a lot.
Yeah. So what I do is I try and I Snopes it. I Snopes almost everything I read.
You still use Snopes?
What?
I've heard that Snopes is not credible 100%.
The thing is that Snopes is, from what I get, but kind of from what I understand, the people that are saying it's unlegit are the people at fact checks. They fact check CNN a bit too. But you know how it goes.
Who fact checks the fact checkers?
Well, they source it. They have sources.
And
that's something, if you don't have sources for what you're saying, you know how it goes.
Right.
God. There is someone who I used to follow on Twitter who's another comic person
Mhm.
who I actually had to get off their Twitter because like when you think you like someone, I have to just mention this, and then they say something that just sticks out like, wow, I used to think you were quite intelligent.
Hmm.
God.
I have fantasies about just saying the N word on Twitter so I can get banned. Because I waste so much of my time on Twitter that there are times where I'm just like, you know what, just fucking ban me already. Just ban me so I can be productive again.
Why not delete your account?
I mean, I'd rather go. I kind of want to go out in a blaze of glory, but yeah, it's probably smarter to just delete my account.
If you delete your account, you can think of it. It's a lot more badass.
Yeah.
It's the guy pulling the pin on the grenade belt at the end of I Am Legend.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I would rather just delete Twitter, but it's like you lose all. Am I going to lose all my connections? That's always the thing that hangs over everybody's heads. Am I going to be alone forever? And it's like I think that's I just need to get to that point where I'm like, you know what, I can rebuild. I have the technology.
We can rebuild him.
Uh,
Uh, see, oh my god. But could I tell you, like, you know what gets me more than anything nowadays?
hmm,
I hate when you can tell that there are groups that exist just to split apart people.
hmm,
Like there are groups that how there were some people that just stir the pot and then they just see the Twitter flame wars.
hmm. Well, I actually used to be like that. Like on the SWC blog, I remember.
There's a
I mean, I
difference
didn't.
between saying shit like Marvel bad and saying Middle Eastern's bad.
Well, well, yeah, and SWC did both. But I remember, I didn't do it often, but I remember one time when, like Mod One was like, women are retarded, and I replied to him saying, like, Mod One, you should know better than to say women are retarded. Retarded people can live happy, fulfilling lives, and he's like, that is true. So like for me, it's like I'm the guy in the audience where the comedian is on stage is being like, women are so stupid. I'm the guy in the audience going, how stupid are they? Like it's not like I actually believe in that stuff, but I just want to like, again, like you said, stir the pot.
Yeah,
Sometimes I do,
but
but
like, yeah.
yeah.
Also, Turning Point USA is. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I hate to make this political.
Mhm.
They are a group that makes me just want to fucking blow my brains out. Are you familiar with them?
Remind.
They're basically right wing memes that are meant to convert you to go like, you know,
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm familiar with a lot of like the trad cuck trad wife stuff, and that's all stupid. Like the
yeah,
whole we need to return to a tradition. It's like that's about. I mean, that's most of that is very stupid on the par of leftist memes. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh my
for
God,
uh, yeah. I mean, I want to save like most of my material on this for another time. I'm still kind of
yeah.
hyped up from both that thing in the Walmart parking lot. And
Oh, can I tell you about my hype up story? It was a couple months ago, but I still get like the jeebies over it.
eh,
Um, I was at Walmart, and I had my card. And I admit it was in the middle of the aisle a little bit, but it was I was turning it so I could grab something. Right?
mhm,
Guy walks over, takes his card, and he shoves his into mine as hard as he can,
mhm.
and it says "Move it." And he's this old tweety boomer eye motherfucker. I tell you what, he and I was about to get in his Kool-Aid. My
Mhm.
grandmother was there. She said something, and he called my grandmother some pretty foul language.
Uh-huh.
Before she could respond, I was about to get this guy like flies on shit.
Mhm.
I apologize.
It's fine.
God.
Uh, oh yeah. I watched a movie last night or the other night. It was El Camino, Breaking Bad. You know that?
No,
It's a movie that they did about Jesse. That's like a direct sequel to Breaking Bad or the end of Breaking Bad.
Is it good?
It was all right. I know that a lot of people say it's not that good. It's bad and it's bad or whatever. It wasn't bad. I would say it's a worthy continuation that sort of wraps up Jesse's story or gives like I don't know. It sort of leaves in the way that the end of Breaking Bad did, except with more clarity. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's I don't know. It's something that you could probably assume happened after the end of Breaking Bad anyway with him. Uh, there are some points where it does feel like more like an extended episode of Breaking Bad, but there's some moments of presentation where it feels more like a movie. Uh, I think it was I think it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I don't think it was like as great as one of the best top 5 episodes of Breaking Bad, maybe top 20. Even then, I don't know. It's still all right. I was gonna watch the last episode of season 5 Better Call Saul.
Got a question for you. You know, they do a meme like if you watch the movie Godzilla backwards, it's about a monster who sucks in radioactive flames and saves Tokyo.
Mhm.
What would Breaking Bad be if you watched it backwards?
It would be like the story of a guy who survives. It would be like a meth kingpin who survives a near-death situation, and then like reforms and becomes a school teacher and beats cancer.
That would actually be a good movie of itself.
Huh.
Fucking awful human turning good. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how awful Walter White is until watching like an essay about, or like just showcasing, like because they have like the highlight videos on YouTube, showing like iconic moments from the series, and there are some moments where it's like, wow, that's really the point where he just like becomes completely irredeemable. Or there are a few moments like that, so that kind of defeats what I just said. But yeah, he's definitely a despicable human being by the time it ends.
I like that. They don't try and they try and make him likable, but not a good person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that comes from Bryan Cranston too. Is that
if he was played by like Jim Parsons, he'd be unbearable.
Yeah, there's actually I think that one of the people they cast initially was Matthew Broderick. I think was.
Oh no!
Yeah, that would have been
no!
Awful. That would have been just awful.
I am the one who knocks.
That's a lot of meth.
I want that crossover of 1995 Godzilla going like, "You're not Heisenberg." I
am the one who stomps.
Holy fuck, I need to have a meth dealer. The meth dealer, where do you hide your drugs? Well, you see, I have a guard dog and cue a giant mutant monster.
He like hides the meth under like his scales.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be like one of those monsters that has like a frill that can like cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
I had the idea that like my favorite kind of villain in sci-fi are corporate sci-fi villains.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, there is nothing finer than seeing a big businessman being torn apart by a T-Rex. Just as God intended.
Yeah. Speaking of,
yes.
That reminds me. There was an anime that I was meaning to get back to watching. Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. It was Outlaw Star.
Yes, I remember you mentioning it. It's like Cowboy Bebop, right?
Yeah, it actually came before Cowboy Bebop by like 2 months. So like when Cowboy Bebop did come out, it completely overshadowed Outlaw Star. And because they're so similar, not as many people like know about Outlaw Star. But I remember it was on Toonami when I was growing up. I
see what Toonami edits.
Yeah, it's a. I think I remember last time I was talking about it, I said like the dub is really bad or it doesn't hold up. But I've meaning to get back. I've meaning to watch it just to see whether or not that's the case. Because most of the clips I saw were taken out of context. I don't know. Depending on who you ask, like some people will say, "Oh, all dubs are bad," and it's funny
No.
because yeah, it's like that's not true. I mean, look at Cowboy Bebop, for instance. A lot of people will say that Steve Bloom Spike is a much better. Is even a better character because of Steve Bloom's voice acting, thanks to the dub. Another one is Yu Yu Hakusho. Some people say that the dub's better. I don't know if they're saying that strictly because of Kuwabara, but and Chris Sabat just like shredding his throat raw for the sake of that character. Let's see what else. And I also like the dub of Kiki's Delivery Service just because Phil Hartman is Gigi the cat. Is like that was his last voice role, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is his last voice role. But I don't like it just because of that. I think that he just adds like an extra layer of like sarcasm and just this charm that's not in the original. Yep. Well, I guess I'll keep talking anyway. Zach looks like he left. What other dubs are there that are really, really good? Well, gee, I guess that's it then. Not it for the show. Sorry. Let's see. What else were we going to talk about? Oh, that's the end of the list too. We got. We got. Oh, hey.
There we go. You know what? I joke when I called you that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, who kicked you? It wasn't me, was it?
No, it just said it was a connection thing.
Okay.
You know what I like to
What?
imagine? I'd like to imagine like Evangelion train scenes, but like everyone's packed on the train and you have a tough life. Look at me. And I don't know. Just he's on a really crowded train. There's a crying baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd find that many empty trains in Japan subway.
Yeah. Well, maybe nowadays you would.
Ooh,
Oh
ooh. Hey, did you hear that they're making a new Pokemon Snap?
yeah, new Pokemon Snap. That's right. That's coming into the.
When I saw that, I had to do that's literally was my jam as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Was that coming? Is the new one coming to the Switch?
Yes.
Okay.
I am talking out of my ass, but yes, it is.
All right. Because I thought I saw it was like coming to the 3DS, and I'm like, what? Are we still keeping that thing alive? Why? Like,
Yeah, and
oh, apparently Berserk has a good dub for the outtakes.
you know what I would kill to see the outtakes of? I would like to see the outtakes of like, God, well, what's that? Was there ever an anime off of Chrysalis?
I mean Pupa.
Pupa.
Yeah.
Wow, I got.
Actually was, yeah.
Oh no.
I think it is called Chrysalis in some versions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Pupa.
Yeah.
Everyone needs their graphic, violent incest manga.
Yeah, there actually was an anime of it. I remember seeing a clip of it, or like I think it was like an anime YouTuber who showed a clip.
It might have been the whole episode because apparently each episode's 4 minutes long.
Yeah, but I can't like I would wish I don't imagine there is, but I hope that there's a dub of it where the guy's going like, "Get out of here, monster!"
No, you have to. Here's how I hear. Hey, you get out of here, monster! I only can imagine him throwing a rock at it, and the monster. It's not even a good-looking monster. I want to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
How would I describe it? It looks kind of. Okay. It looks like Nier Levotep and a Wendigo had a run-in with each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks sad.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of the point, though.
No,
But
no, no. It doesn't look sad like depressing. It looks sad like
like
there could have
nobody
been.
tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like OG Mothra, like the concept art of Mothra.
Hmm.
I'm gonna send it to you because like I have to show you this.
Yeah, I think I still have a file of all those images because of that one episode we did a while back on it.
I'm talking about like I found older like oh, here we go, here we go. I love the old monster art, but at the same time, Mothra needs to be ungodly fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
It's this. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Please be it. Yep, it is.
Oh, nice. Let me just open this up real quick. Huh.
Oh no, it's gonna see. It doesn't look cute or terrifying. It just looks like a giant moth.
Did
You
somebody
need to
did
what?
they scribble this on a napkin?
Uh, no, they have some manga surf walk in there. They go, if you draw monster concept art, we won't foreclose your home.
It looks like the guy like drew his own pen there, like his own ink brush. See?
Oh my god, that's the final fight. The giant pen trying to stab it.
Mm-hmm.
God. Oh my.
Is there going to be a new Godzilla plan? I mean, a new Japanese Godzilla movie. Is there any plans for that?
I heard it's going to be Godzilla versus Ava.
Hmm.
That's the rumor that's been floating for a while.
Uh-huh.
And everyone is like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
please no.
I mean, if that's the case, then we're probably not going to hear about it until after the release of 3.0 plus 4.0 from, yeah.
God. They should call it 3.0 plus 2.0 minus 1.0.
Final chapter prologue. And I saw like a clip from the new clip from that, and apparently it's like Misato like on the fucking Gurren Lagann ship, like
Oh,
it like just shooting through the stars or something. It looks like Gurren Lagann, and I like Gurren Lagann, but that doesn't really go with Ava. Like Gurren Lagann is the anti-Evangelion, so I don't know why they're doing that. They're just making Ava like wacky and space giant mechs.
when I want to be sad, I watch Ava. When I want to be fucking sad, I watch Gurren Lagann.
Oh, it has a pretty sad ending. But I think
Yeah.
that's like what's like some people, a lot of people actually hate the ending of Gurren Lagann, but I think it's saved by the epilogue. I think the epilogue is one of my it makes it one of my favorite endings in any anime.
The death of certain character always killed me as a kid.
Yeah, and they repeated that for the end of Samurai Jack. They just outright stole that.
Oh God, I haven't finished watching that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't have the Cartoon Network bundle, so probably I'm gonna have to Yarhar it anyways.
Yeah. Have you watched all the Primal episodes?
What'd you say?
Primal? Have you watched? Are you caught up on that?
Well, sorry, what'd you say?
Are you all caught up on the Primal episode?
Not yet.
Okay, me neither.
I fucking love Primal. It's literally everything I want in a show.
Yeah, it's basically a heavy metal comic series.
All it really needs to be perfect is to have a dinosaur robot in there.
Mhm.
Just have like those Aztec style statues.
Mhm.
Have one start walking around.
Yeah, they could do that. Have you ever watched the original Heavy Metal?
Uh, Once. I don't remember a lot about it. I remember the one that had the dragon in there. I remember that one.
Hmm.
That's not very specific, is it?
Yeah, I only saw it once, but I think I probably remember more than you do. I haven't
It's
mean
the one that had the overt sexuality in it.
yeah, and we don't really see that very often anymore, which is
Like,
it's kind of depressing because that's what they were trying to do was make a good, really good uh, animation movie for adults, and more would follow, but they never did. I mean, they would occasionally I mean, there are some adult animation movies that spring up from time to time, but they all end up being like mediocre or horrible. Like, I hate Sausage Party. I know some people actually like it, but I still fucking hate that movie.
it's got like what I saw it. I laughed a couple times, but not because it was funny. I laughed in spite of it being, you know.
Yeah, there are some jokes in there that like they couldn't get away with nowadays. Like they make the Twinkie character a flaming homosexual.
Oh,
The whiskey or the he's like some kind of alcohol character who's like just has a really thick Native American accent. He's because he's firewater.
yeah, he's whiskey.
Uh-huh. And yeah, there's like I don't know.
Here's my thing. If you're going to be an offensive comic, be clever.
Mhm.
You don't just repeat har har group is bad, har har don't like women.
Mhm.
You be clever.
Yeah,
Say some.
yeah,
I don't
and
like lazy humor.
yeah,
That
and I think that Sausage Party tries to be clever sometimes, but yeah, it's like a lot of it fell flat for me.
Oh my God, I can't watch Big Bang Theory sometimes because, well, most of the time.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, my grandmother likes it. I try not to make fun of it when she's watching it. But there's like an episode where I realized if you take out the laugh tracks, it's a really disturbing, like, wow, this couple's having a really uncomfortable argument.
Mhm.
I hate laugh tracks.
Well, I mean, yeah, like that's the thing with most sitcoms with laugh tracks, even the good ones. And I probably mentioned this a while back, was the only sitcom I can think of that like works without a laugh track as well as it does with one is probably Frasier. There's another one I can't remember what it was off the top of my head though. There are some sitcoms that are so good or suitable for like any format that they work with if you strip away that one like key thing that holds it together or seemingly holds it together. Because yeah, I think Frasier, it's basically I know that it's like structured like a stage play because it has like they're actually separated into acts. Each episode is separated into two acts, and it has a title card for like the second act and the first act. So like yeah, it makes sense to. I mean, yeah, if you were like in a theater, you would still hear laughter, but I think that like even when you take away the laughter, it's still very witty. It's still very dry humor. So it's not that uncomfortable if you take away the laugh.
Also, if you think about it, those laugh tracks were recorded in like the 30s. They're ghost laughs. Imagine being some schmuck who probably came back from World War I, forever bound to the rooms to hear Bazinga! Bazinga!
That could be a neat short story. Like you have like what do you call it, the audio technician for those things, and like he just like or like maybe a janitor, he cleans up the sets, and all of a sudden you see he starts hearing laughter, and it's like or like no, he starts like reenacting a scene from the sitcom that he's sweeping up on, and then he just hears laughter from the audience, but there's nobody there.
Oh God. I always thought that like a film stage if no one's there would be horrifying.
Mhm.
Like just an empty stage, it would have some weird energies.
Yeah,
I don't believe in ghosts.
yeah.
I believe if you believe in ghosts, there's a high chance you smoked PCP in the past.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Like
really
I believe
like I don't
if
really
there.
believe in ghosts. I think that there's like some unexplained phenomenon. I believe
Oh,
that
I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it's dead grandma coming back to like
Oh,
it. Oh, psychic mediums. Oh God,
like those. Most of those people don't actually believe it. I think that most of those people are like scam
they're
artists,
hucksters.
or they believe in it so much that they. I like the speaking of sitcoms. I know the quote from Seinfeld, George Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it. And I think that a lot of these psychic mediums, some of them at least, they believe it so much that they just sort of fool themselves into I guess scamming by proxy. I don't know if that's even remotely the right term, but
No,
you know what I'm
they're
talking about.
completely no. You give them too much credit, Tony.
Ah,
They're
yeah.
the kind of people who, when a little girl goes missing, they flock to your door.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that is just, you know,
Yeah, I think even if you're tricking yourself, you believe on some level that yes, like you know that person is vulnerable, and you're like it takes a really predatory mindset to leech onto that and be like, oh, I can help you psychically connect with your missing or dead daughter for $20 an hour. That's really scummy.
I hope that if there are real ghosts, that they haunt you. Oh my God. Hey, God. Fuck.
Yes.
I had a thought. Rolling back. You know what I think would be? Oh, did you hear Discovery Channel has a new show about dinosaurs?
Hmm.
They glorify dinosaur fossil poaching.
Hmm.
You know, the one group of people, like, obviously, they're not hurting people, but at the same time, they're the kind of people who'd probably sell you their own children if they could get away with it.
Huh. So it's
Some,
like there's like a fossil version of Pawn Stars.
yeah, from what I understand, I don't want to watch it because I don't want them to get money.
Huh.
And I don't want to pirate it because I don't want to fucking waste time on them. But do you want to hear the best part?
What?
The best part of all their bullshit is that some of them, not the ones on the show, of course, but in the past, have ties to Al Qaeda. Like, hey, basically they would make deals with the group. Hey, don't shoot us. We'll give you a split of the money so that you can buy guns and crap.
Hmm.
I just like to imagine just some poor triceratops being dug up, and it's like, oh shit, I'm going to this guy, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Speaking of dinosaur documentaries, you ever notice how like they still use the same 3D models for dinosaurs from like 2000?
the reason why is because they give about dinosaur documentaries kind of tend to suck.
Eh.
They don't get a lot of they tend to do something where it's like Tyrannosaurus was a large carnivore. They don't say it's a Tyrannosaurus was the ultimate carnivore. Also pay us. You know, it's why I kind of don't like. I also watched one. It was about anacondas, not even like a fake thing. It said an anaconda can rise up like a cobra.
Mhm.
That's blatantly bullshit.
Mm.
For many reasons, of course, but
Yeah, they like hang from the trees.
yeah, they weigh 1,100 pounds. They'd probably break their neck if they try to raise up like a snake,
Mhm.
like a cobra.
Yeah, I kind of wish because I remember seeing like a bumper for I guess the online streaming service for National Geographic or whatever, but like there was a documentary on prehistoric bugs, and like all the bugs like look like they're for like PS2 models. It was,
Oh, if you think dinosaurs don't get funding, how do you think about the other ones?
hmm.
You know the meme, where it's the one guy saying, "I didn't get this," and the one guy says, "Hey, I didn't get that," and then the one goes, "Hey, I didn't get any of that."
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, dinosaurs like, "I didn't get a model since 2009." The Ice Age animal is like, "I didn't get a model since 2001,"
Mhm.
and then you just cut to the PlayStation One bugs like, "You're getting models?"
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's from some movie. I can't remember what.
I don't know what it is, but I see that meme a lot.
Yeah, I remember like the premise. It's like some guy pays like a woman and two kids to pretend to be his family, I just can't remember the name of the title.
Malcolm in the Middle?
No. No, it sounds like an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, but I don't know if there's any. That's another show that I've been meaning to go back and rewatch because there are some really, really good episodes of that. This is Bryan Cranston's finest performance prior to Breaking Bad, in my opinion. And I think that my favorite episode of that is probably the Vegas episode.
I remember the episode where he got bit by a tarantula,
mm-hmm.
and it gave me an irrational fear of sleeping on the floor because of tarantulas. You know, Ohio, home to the Midwestern tarantula.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, is that true?
No.
Oh.
No, Tony.
Oh. I can't believe that I just walked into that one.
Yeah, you walked into it like a barking wall spider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an inside family joke. You blame someone passing gas on a barking wall spider. I apologize.
Huh.
If I ever made like an RPG, I'd make a wall spider, and it'd be like a weird dog spider hybrid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I'm ready to wrap things up. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I've been Zach.
And I've been Tony. And this has been The Monkey Bar.
Oh. I forgot to do